Welcome back to the F1 24 driver career. We are stuck slam bang in the middle of a big driver's title fight here in the fourth season, our first season at Mercedes, and it's our fourth home Grand Prix of our career as a driver. Our first home Grand Prix with regards to the location of where the team is based, and of course, Brackley and Brixworth, based in the UK, but Mercedes is German, so it's half a home Grand Prix, but it's my home Grand Prix, and we've not ever really done that well at Silverstone because the AI are very strong here, but we do still lead the championship after 4 straight victories and 2 back-to-back P2s behind Lando Norris, who's now got 2 back-to-back victories. So far this season, there's only been, despite there being 9 Grand Prix, there's only been 4 Grand Prix winners. Lewis won in Bahrain, then Charles Leclerc won 3 in a row, then I won 4 in a row, and now Lando has won 2 in a row as well, and will be looking to make it a hat-trick of his own here at his and his team's home Grand Prix, and it's a full home Grand Prix for McLaren, of course. The weather is okay, but there will be some rain coming at the end of the race, as you can see above me there, so that'll make it a bit more intriguing, won't it? Full practice sessions set ahead of us so we can tweak our setup accordingly and hopefully find the pace that we feel we need to challenge for a podium at our home Grand Prix. I mean, a win here for me would be unbelievable. I don't know as I've ever won the British Grand Prix in any save ever. So now would be the time, if ever, to go for it when winning the World Championship. So we'll put older parts in for practice and then fresher parts in for the race itself, because it's very much a power circuit here at Silverstone, of course. And we would very much like to power our way towards a decent victory if possible. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save and continually doing so. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. The Journeyman save continues to go from strength to strength. We're heading towards Season 3 in that now. And hopefully you guys have voted. If you haven't, then do so. I believe as this goes live, the vote is still ongoing. So do make sure you go and check that out. Regardless, check this out. Let's go and race around Silverstone. The car feels great. Whether it's quick or not is a different matter, but it feels super planted and super quick around Silverstone right now. If everything goes according to plan, we may well be 91 rated by the end of this weekend. We put in a 25 flat with a quali run in practice that I think there might be a little bit more in, perhaps, if I am able to take a couple of the corners slightly better. Plus, of course, with some fresher, more powerful and efficient bits in the car. In fact, let's just go brand new MGUH and MGUK. Why not? Energy store, turbo, but a barely used turbo in there. Obviously, control electronics is control electronics and gearbox is gearbox. So, aiming for front row here. Pole at Silverstone would be unbelievable, but front row is definitely the target for sure. Wasn't ideal.
Okay, there's 2 minutes left in this session.
25 flat. Comfortably through, but still half a second off Lando. But obviously you saw, even at the end of the lap there, just the final part of the lap, there was mistakes involved. So there's definitely more time in that. But I'm going to need to find said time if you want to stand a chance of stopping the in-form man at the minute, which is Lando Norris. George Russell, my teammate, is right up there as well. Any shock exits? Maybe Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin is a bit of a shock exit considering his teammate was top 4. Both Hasses out is a surprise. One of the Saubers, and Ollie Behrman in his Red Bull, just isn't the man right now, is he? He is not him. That felt good. Managed to nail Stowe this time. Let's not balls up the end of the lap on this occasion. Maybe we can make it into the 24s. Really feel the car grip up there, and we are into the 24s. It's a 24-7. Just still a few tenths off Lando, but closer. P4. We might be challenging for a top 5 here. Front 3 rows, seemingly. because Lando is a step faster than most everybody else at the minute, but 24.747 is only 5 milliseconds slower than Fernando and only 13 milliseconds slower than Lewis. So maybe the front row is on, but it looks like Lando is the man to beat right now, doesn't it? 2 wins in a row and flying. Max Verstappen out in Q2, but the Red Bull is not the car in this save anymore. Nor real life, as the case may be. So as we're about to head out, you can see that they are into the 24.4s with Charles Leclerc, who's finally turned up. Lando's a 24.5, George 24.6, Lewis 24.6. So we're going to have to go faster than we ever have before to make it onto the front 2
Checks
rows.
complete. Everyone be aware. We've
Game
got
on.
leaving the garage.
Whoa, George with a 24 flat, are you serious? Where have you pulled that from, sunshine? "24 flat? Bloody Nora. No pole for us today. Christ, I'm not getting anywhere near that. Lando's 24 flat as well. 24 flat around here is absurd. I'm slower than Alex Albon in 6th at the minute. Decent stow though. A little bit of slip around there, a little bit wide. 24.8. 24.7, 24.8 seems to be my level here. P8. Everybody else stepped the hell up in Q3. 24 flats are absurd around Silverstone. That is a disgusting lap time. To have found another half a second from where they were is ridiculous.
Make sure to join us
Well,
again for
Alex Albon in the Williams has pulled out a banging lap there. Lando Norris just ahead of my teammate. So the pace is obviously in the car, just not in the driver here, it seems. 24.7, 24.8 is my limit, we think, or seemingly. We might be able to one-stop medium soft this. Maybe, because tyre wear seems to be okay, but I certainly didn't see those lap times coming. I thought we might have been in with a shout. Barely even in with a whisper, let alone a shout, of a chance of pole or a front row. With rain coming at the end of the race as well, to be fair, we almost certainly will medium soft it. Planning on then switching to the wet tyre at the end. Let's go and see what everyone else is doing. Grid penalties for others would be very welcome indeed, but I can't recall anyone that retired in the last Grand Prix in Spain from the front lot. Actually, Piastri retired, didn't he? So that might... Ernest, never mind. Piastri starting 4th. There's the end of that one. Alonso Albon. And then me in P8. No, me P7. Okay, so someone has taken a penalty. That someone is... I wasn't paying too much attention. I was looking for Piastri and then hadn't thought about anyone else. Charles Leclerc. Fantastic! Charles Leclerc taking a penalty. You love to see it. He didn't retire in the last Grand Prix, but him taking a penalty works wonders for our title challenge. Lando, however, as you can see, round 8 and round 9, top of the table. And if he keeps going,
It's your home Grand Prix, but I want you to treat
look,
it
soft
like
to
any
medium.
other race. Let's not make any unnecessary risks,
It's
please.
a soft medium one stop, and obviously with the rain coming at the end, that is really going to make things quite intriguing. Anyone else starting on a medium tyre? No, everyone is on soft. I'll go soft as well then. A soft medium one stop around Silverstone is actually pretty mental, to be honest. But we'll stop probably lap 22. Maybe even 21 because of that rain coming. Try and get as big an undercut as we possibly can. And then absolutely nail it towards the wet weather. Slightly less fuel. P7 starts, but we have won races from P8 before and podiumed from P9 before. So P7 doesn't necessarily mean we are out of this.
Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
Game on. British Grand Prix. is underway eventually. Not a bad start. Lots of wheel spin though. Oh mate, loads of wheel spin in the second phase there. Had actually a pretty decent launch, but lost the position to Ricciardo in the Alpine. Probably a bad idea to try and throw out the inside of there, so we won't. Although I did think about it, as you could probably tell. Well, if we hadn't got that second phase wheel spin, it would have been a really good start. Anyone thinking about making a move here? No? Okay. Albon is going to need to be passed very quickly. Otherwise, we're going to lose too much time to the front few. We all need to get past Albon very quickly indeed. Sorry, Alex, that Williams might have a little bit of quali pace, but in race trim, not the one. You can already see how the front few are starting to gap Albon. Piastri needs to go for it here. Hopefully Lando and Leclerc fight a little bit. But the front four are already checking out up top. I'm gonna... Hello, I'm alongside you, sir. Never mind. Oh, I was gonna undercut, but he just parked it on the apex. Alright, Daniel, fair enough.
DRS is being enabled this lap.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Not a problem. And lunge up the inside. Hello. And no DRS for you, hopefully. But DRS for me, hopefully. Never mind, you got DRS, that's annoying. We'll just try it again.
Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push.
Oof, Jesus, he slammed across the front of the car there, didn't he? Right, Daniel, game on. He's getting feisty, Mr. Ricciardo. Very feisty. Almost certainly not going to have DRS now. Bit of washout in the dirty air there on the last part of Maggots and Beckett's. On the inside of Stowe. That's my P7 back.
Brilliant. Nice move. Keep going.
Piastri has seen off Albon. We need to get close to, if possible, to ensure that we can stay with the front group. Not going to have DRS here, but we'll try and earn it back throughout the course of the lap. Too ambitious, putting the power down. Might lose a position here. That's fine. Bit of DRS chicken. I think he was across the line first. Soon find out. Yeah, he was. Thank you. Bye. No DRS for Ricciardo. We played that well.
On the car ahead.
I'm pushing. Don't need to worry about that, mate. George up to P2. Made a big lunge on Charles Leclerc, I think. Don't let Lando get away though, boys. He might soon be my championship rival at this rate. We're bringing Daniel Ricciardo with us and closing in on this group in front. There was quite a gap between Piastri and Alonso. That gap has disappeared now.
You can get past, make use of the overtake button.
It's not.
See what you can do.
I've mentioned Charles Leclerc a couple of times on that Ferrari. It's not Charles Leclerc, of course, is it? He took a penalty. It's Lewis Hamilton that's up there. In P3 right now. Charles Leclerc's a long way down. Still a long way down. Alright, we will have Albon soon. Then it's a case of can we catch Piastri. Again, washing out in the dirty air of the car in front. He will have DRS here, I think. He does. We'll save a bit of battery just to make sure we've got it to use to our advantage later in the next lap. Definitely stronger around Stowe. Definitely stronger around Stowe. I'm going to go up the inside here. Hello. Pass made.
Really pushing now. He's just put in the fastest lap
of the race from Mr. Russell. 3 seconds to Alonso, which means maybe 4 seconds-ish, 4.5 maybe, to Lando Norris. I can ask for a full race update, that'll tell me. Let's do that in a moment. Let's just make sure we get out of here well enough, which we have. Full race update, please.
Sat in 6th. Piastri ahead. They're on fresh softs. Albon behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Our gap to first place.
4.3, there you go.
3 seconds.
Reckon between 4 and 4.5.
Laps until your pit window opens, and that's 46 laps to go.
Let's try and get Piastri. George is going for the lead. Go on, Mr. Russell. Russell round the outside of Stowe, and there is a Mercedes in first place. Yes, George. Love that. We saw in qualifying that he found some pace to pop it in second. Another fastest lap of the race from Mr. Russell. He's flying. Go on, lad. Well, the gap to the group in front has drastically come down. George and Hamilton are scrapping like nobody's business. Lando's now looking to canter off into the distance. They're still side by side, George and Lewis, the two former teammates. And eventually, Russell keeps P2, but for how long? As we head down the the Wellington straight. George still P2, but hello, DRS. Wow. I don't know what's happened between these guys in front, but they have just let Lando disappear. And it seems Lando might be getting another comfortable race win if it continues in this manner. And he will make the hat-trick, and he will continue the pressure at the top of the standings on myself and Charles. Especially if Charles doesn't get any points today. At the minute, he's nowhere near the points. Might be 13th, maybe, Charles Leclerc? 15th, Charles Leclerc. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Going for it again. Lewis ran the outside of George, maybe. Done. But even before we get to Stowe. Right, how to try and pick through this group without A, getting damage, and B, letting Lando disappear 15 seconds down the road and get the race win. We'll be stopping about halfway through this stint. Tyre wears to the point where I think I probably will stop lap 20 or 21. But DRS is important around here, and if we don't have it outside after the pit stops, then it might actually not work that well in our favour. Asking me to overtake Hamilton is a bit much. Just notice the objective. That went well. Use battery here. We'll go for Piastri. Can take the McLaren. He's still on my outside. Give him racing room. Hello. Yes, we can take the McLaren. That's P5. That's 1. Now Fernando Alonso's next. It would be a giant risk to go soft and hope that the rain falls heavily enough that we need to go to Inters. It's not a risk I'm willing to take, I don't think. Better. Still slightly slow on exit, but better. Gap to leader, please.
That's P5. You're in P5. Alonso ahead. Okay, they're on old softs. Piastri's behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, so gap to the leader,
2.8.
2.8 seconds. Pit window opens in 12 laps time. 12 laps.
This is the
40
benefit.
laps to go now.
This is the benefit of DRS. Lando was 4.3 seconds down the road. DRS has helped us catch Lando. Obviously, he doesn't have it, which is why the undercut isn't actually going to be as powerful as we might want it to be. So it might be worth staying out a bit longer than lap 20 or so. Might even be worth just matching their pit stops. Although we will have to consider the double stack with George. So I still might stop 23 rather than 25, but I'm not thinking of boxing super early anymore, I don't think. I'd be concerned that I wouldn't have the pace with no DRS to keep pace with this lot at the front end, considering the tyres still have quite a bit of pace in them despite the wear. Got a nice run on Alonso here. Gonna be similar to the Piastri move. He's going to go left or right. I'm going to go right. He's going to stay left. And this might be P4. He's going to hold it. He's not going to hold it anymore though. Yeah, he is. Is he? I don't know. He's going to have a tight line here, Fernando. This is close between the two of us now. Through Abbey. He's let it go. That's P4. And we will still have DRS. Oh, really nice overtake on Piastri. An even better overtake on Fernando Alonso. We're driving really well right now. Just got to keep it going. A podium is an absolute possibility here. Whether the win is or not remains to be seen. But Lando still isn't getting away down the road. That was a particularly nice move. Put a little gap on Fernando as well here. Lewis through at Stowe. And then locks up massively through Stowe. It was a huge puff of smoke from the Ferrari. Not going to take any crazy risks here, especially considering my teammate is one of the two cars in front. Gap to Lando, even less than the 2.8 it was previously, I think.
This lap then.
Oh no, I didn't want to do that at all. That's the wrong one. Sorry.
Good work, we're in P4. Okay, they're on old softs. That's Alonso behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. The distance to the leader,
2.6
seconds.
Still
okay,
closing on Lando.
9 laps time. 37 laps to go.
Still closing on Lando. It was 0.7 last lap. He's a lot closer now. George around the outside maybe. They're fighting hard and fair, these guys.
Great stuff,
as am I.
You hit the target well there. Nice one. There's a long way to go in this race, though.
Oh, we're getting some clean overtakes in today, boys. See you, Lewis. P3. Oh, that might be the best of the bunch. Come on, George. Let's go get Lando.
We think we might see
rain.
ETA about 15 minutes.
15 minutes till rain. Right. Do we then soft? That's the question. If the rain is going to come that early, then surely it gets hard enough, or it rains hard enough, that we're forced onto intermediate tyres. Do we soft, or is it too much of a risk? Considering the progress we're making, is it still too much of a risk?
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done.
Should we still commit to the soft medium, just in case the rain, whilst consistent it may be in the way it falls, it might not rain heavily enough to warrant the switch to intermediate tyres? Would love to know the intensity levels of that rain. I really don't feel like you get enough information as a driver on the F1 game about what sort of rain is coming. In real life, they have all sorts of information and clarification about different levels of rainfall. Like it's going to be a Category 1 rain shower, it's going to be a Category 3 rain shower. We expect it to rain for 15 minutes, light enough, and then get heavier. And we do think that inters are going to be required. We don't think inters are going to be required. All information that the driver will be able to get from the team, IRL, that you can't get in the game. I'm going to go for George here. He's hopefully not going to fight me too much. And 1.8 to Lando. Hey, steady. What in the fuck happened there? That was a snap of oversteer I was not expecting. George slow over the bumps. Let him get DRS, slot in behind. Sorry, let me get DRS, slot in behind. So I can build my battery up behind him and then go again down the hangar straight into Stowe. Being this close to first, I don't think it's worth the risk of going soft and hoping it rains hard enough. I think I'm still going to go soft medium. We've evidently got some pace. Go for George again. Right, this time, don't be quite so eager on the throttle pedal, Chesnoid. There we go. That was better. George will have a bit of a straight line advantage here, but they'll be quite slow over the bumps there on the way into Abbey. So we'll be able to maintain the position. Now the challenge of closing Lando down again begins, because we lost some time with that mistake a couple of laps ago. And the gap was down to about 1.8, 1.9, is now over 3 seconds again. Don't even think about it, George. Not going to happen, pal. Not here, mate. Hang us straight, maybe. But not here, pal. Well, he's thinking about it. Wrong decision, though. Might get double overtaken down the hangar straight here. Just going to let it happen. George is fine. Lewis, I will fight. Massive overspeed on Russell.
Yeah, really good job on hitting that target, mate. Nice work. Still a long way to go, though.
It's P2, but now we box. Right, for medium tyres then. And we hope that the rain doesn't come hard enough to warrant switching again in the next 10 laps or so.
So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes.
See?
Okay, let's go now. Come
They
on.
said 15 minutes, then they said 10 minutes.
We were expecting.
Now they're saying 10 to 15 minutes still. So the rain is coming, but it's actually not coming as quickly as initially they thought it would do. We have gone to the very back here because it's such a long pit stop at Silverstone, but it should be our only stop of the race.
See these tyres through to the end.
So these mediums will go to the end. Now we find out whether the undercut is going to work or whether keeping the DRS would have been the way forward. But we were P2 again, so we would have had no DRS. Effectively, I think we're just trying to undercut to stay ahead of those we were with, not necessarily to catch Lando. But unless the rain gets so heavy we need intermediate tyres, we are now on this set to the end of the Grand Prix in 30 laps time. Yellow flag. Lando's in the box, I think. As is Fernando Alonso. As is George Something's happened. George Russell and the Ferrari aren't moving. What's happened? Where are they? Here we go. Watch it from... Wait, is this us? Is that Lando? No, Lando's there going into the pit. So Lando's boxing. Oh, they've both... Wow. So Lewis and George have tried to go into the pits at the same time. They can't get there. I think, no, George is trying to box. Lewis is wanting to stay out. But because of George's positioning, George has forced Lewis towards the pits. Lewis is still trying to stay out, and the two just drive into each other. And that's what the yellow flag is for. George was trying to box. Lewis was not trying to box. Fernando is boxing and just watches it all unfold in front of him. What's this from Fernando's point of view? He just races into the pits. Says time very much. The two behind are still just stuck there on the grass. George is still trying to box. Lewis is still trying to stay out. Their races are ruined. And now it's me, Lando and Fernando going for a victory then. That is not great AI behaviour, to say the least. Good thumbnail opportunity, though. Purple middle sector says that we made the right decision with our tyres as well. George has now finally boxed.
George is coming in for his stop.
Didn't expect them to box as early as they have either. It recommended my pit stop being lap 25. And it's recommended them to stop on 23. So I'm glad we boxed 22. Otherwise we actually would have lost any opportunity to undercut. Unsurprisingly, coming out in front of Alonso, gap to Lando is basically the same as it was before. It wasn't too much of an undercut opportunity there.
Car ahead's coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead now running medium tyres.
Obviously, George and Lewis have lost loads and loads and loads of time.
Gap to the car ahead, 2.9 seconds.
Gap to Albon is 13-ish. Meaning the gap to them is 15 plus. Lando is odds-on favourite for the victory still here after the round of pit stops. Lots more drivers in the box now. Lando's about to hit some traffic, which might hold him up. Hopefully does hold him up as I set the fastest lap of the race.
Keep this up, well done.
So we've got the pace. I'm sure Lando and Alonso will set faster lap times this lap though. Now that they're both going to have DRS. Lando is stuck in that traffic though. There is a lot of traffic in front of him. They can hold him up. That'd be lovely. I was poor through there, and Alonso's really closed up. He might take me. He probably will. I'm not even going to fight it. There's no point. It's going to cost us both too much time to fight that. Let's just try and close on Lando together. Hi, Fernando. Hi, Fernando. Enjoying that overtaking spot so far today. That is almost everybody having boxed now. It is everybody having boxed now other than Carlos Sainz in P2 and a Sauber that currently leads the Grand Prix. George Russell, as we suspected, one of those other drivers taking the fastest lap of the race away from me. Lando still stuck behind Sainz and the Sauber. Hopefully it's going to bring them back towards us. De Silva and Haas will both box this lap though, so we've got only a few more corners to bring home this potential advantage. Hopefully Lando can't get past and is stuck behind them through Maggots and Beckett's. And they lose even more time. He is stuck behind them through Maggots and Beckett's. We have a good Maggots and Beckett's. Gap's now 2. Lando's looking to make the move as well. Around both of them, maybe. Yep, Lando around the outside of Stowe, past 2 cars. Bravo, Mr. Norris. Bravo indeed.
Joe has just completed a pass for the lead.
2 seconds the gap to Lando, but I don't think we'll be catching him still, even though it's such a small gap. Not unless Fernando and I work together. Kind of annoyed that George Russell has thrown away a double team podium here, potentially. And who knows what's going to happen when that rain falls. How long till it gets here now, please?
5 minutes until
5 minutes.
Expected. 5 minutes until rain.
We'll go around the outside, please, Fernando. You.
Brilliant. Nice move. Keep going.
Come on, between us, we can work together and catch Lando. There's a win on for either of us here, Fernando, if you just work with me. Oh, that got very grey very quickly there. Rain really isn't far away now at all. It's just a question of how heavy will it fall and for how long. Is it going to dry up again afterwards? Maybe. We don't know. It did say it wasn't coming till the very end of the race, and it's going to come just after the halfway point. Yuki Tsunoda's out. Presumably just a retirement through Maggots and Beckett's. Let's have a look. Where is the RB? There he is. Yeah, just a retirement. Mechanical fault. His engine hasn't exploded, but something in the car has died, whether it be hydraulic pressure or something of the like. No safety car for that there. But we are now down to 19 drivers in this Grand Prix. Raindrops. Drop top. Something, 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 crackpot. I'm hit. It's not even new music. Rain is falling though. How long before we need inters? I'll ask about the weather.
Okay, conditions are going to keep deteriorating for 10 minutes at least. Dries definitely seem like the fastest
Deteriorating
time
for 10 minutes at least says to me that definitely we will be on intermediate tyres. Rain is starting to bounce off the surface though, so it really isn't going to be far away. If Lando boxes, I box. Lando stays out, I stay out at the moment. Lando stays out. So does Fernando. We'll match them. It's Inter's time. It's definitely Inter's time. Everybody else is in the pits. Oh, if I'd have only boxed that last lap.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now
maybe
disabled.
we could have taken the lead.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
That's annoying. Instead of copying the front two, I should have done opposite the front two. Grip has well and truly disappeared. At the minute, so are the two in front of me too. I mean, if Piastri stays out, he's an idiot here. He is boxing. They're going to double stack it. McLaren, although to be fair, there's enough of a gap between Norris and Piastri that they don't need to. Ferrari might not be able to double stack here, though. Charles Leclerc might keep going. No, Charlie's also in.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on the
Just
turn
out
there,
before
mate.
the
Looks
Ferraris
like a
get there
nice
as well,
stop
otherwise
time.
would have been
We're
held
happy with that
behind them, just like we were in a previous
one.
Grand
George
Prix,
is
and it would
in the
really have
pits.
cost
He's
us,
in the pits now.
because it wasn't a safety car on this occasion. Hello, safety car. Everybody's in. Now then, do we have any pace on intermediate tyres? Or are we even slower yet still than the other drivers around us? Is the rain going to go away though?
These conditions are only getting worse. Watch out for standing water. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
No is the answer to that question then, it seems. It will be wet to the end. And if there's standing water around, it's a question of will we end up having to box for full wets? Will it be like Canada, where we don't need to go to the wets and we can make do on the inters? Wait and see.
Okay, I know these conditions look pretty terrible, but that water is draining okay. I think the intermediate is going to stay the tyre of choice for a while yet.
Inters to the end, most probably. And P4 at the end, most probably. Piastri's slowly but surely reeled me in, and now will slowly but surely disappear down the road in front of me as well. Like I said earlier, I'm more concerned about Hamilton at the minute than I am
a lot of spare energy.
anybody in front of me.
Overtake button.
Piastri overtaking me was just a matter of time, really, and with no DRS to utilise to my advantage.
Okay, some information on Piastri.
Oh, hello.
Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
How's that for timing? Oscar's got an issue. We'll be slow in a straight line, so I'll just have that third place back again then, please, Oscar, if you don't mind. Thank you, mate. Still worried about Hamilton, but now turns out Oscar Piastri might not be part of the problem, or at least not for the short term anyway. It's not to say that the McLaren team won't be able to fix that problem from the pit wall and he'll speed up again. I'm not driving very well at all at the minute. The gap to Lando at its smallest was 1.8 when we were post first pit stop, still in dry conditions. It's now risen by over 10 seconds. No chance of a win today without divine intervention. 10 laps to go as we cross the line. Piastri's issue is not fixed,
You hit that target nicely.
and he's just continually falling further and further back.
Okay, gap to the car ahead.
Gap to Lewis is actually growing. There's a yellow flag in Maggots and Beckett's again. Literally as I've started talking, someone's retiring. It might be a Haas or a Sauber. It's a Haas, I believe. Sauber got stuck behind him going through the twisty, tight turns. So gaps behind, it's Carlos Sainz. Gaps behind growing.
Virtual safety car deployed. Slow down and maintain
gaps behind growing.
delta.
Gaps ahead growing. No man's land assured. Gap to Lewis is, well, it's going to fluctuate now. The gap to Lewis was growing. Gap to Lando has rocketed here with the virtual safety car, but hopefully it should even itself out by the time the VSC disappears. But I'm, at this point, almost certainly finishing third. Even though Piastri's issue is still a thing, they haven't fixed it yet. He's now 10 seconds behind. I got so lucky with that. Even though that is still an issue for him, he's got a massive gap to 6th place Alex Albon, who's still somehow holding everybody else behind him. Actually, it might be Ricciardo in the Alpine that's keeping everybody behind him, including my teammate and title rival Charles Leclerc. And my teammate George Russell and title rival Charles Leclerc. Both now up into the points though, after languishing. Well, George was running for maybe a victory. Charles Leclerc was languishing down in 15th last time we properly checked. He's now up to 8th, so he will get some points, but we'll pull away from him. Lando will close on us yet further still. This is probably, at this stage, how at least the top 5 are going to finish, but What happens with Albon, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Russell, Hülkenberg, etc., everybody in that train, the rest of the points, I'm not sure. So as we start our final lap of this now rather damp British Grand Prix.
Okay, you just started the final lap of the race.
I know, Mark, I just said that. It's status quo, really. Lewis has closed a little bit. The virtual safety car helped that. And then it's still shortened slightly, but it's been a very manageable gap back to the other Ferrari. Just as it's been a particularly manageable gap for Lando Norris in P1 and Fernando Alonso in P2. Fernando's faster than me, Lando's faster than both of us, and he is going to make it a hat-trick of wins in a row for the Papaya McLaren. Lando to come home P1, Alonso P2. We make it another run, or continuation of the run of podiums. It's now 4 wins in a row, followed by a hat-trick of podiums, P2, P2, P3. Steadily moving, unfortunately, in the wrong direction, but hopefully we can get back to winning ways in the next Grand Prix. I think it's Hungary after Silverstone, perhaps? Regardless, our championship lead over Charles Leclerc is going to grow. Annoyingly, Charles Leclerc has broken free of the Alpine and Williams train. Fuel is fine, even though it's flashing at me. So George is going to get a point, a couple of points. Charles Leclerc is going to get a sum. But our tally keeps on ticking over. Lando Norris will close on me by another 10. But we're still comfortably ahead of him and pulling further away from Charles Leclerc. So a podium in our home Grand Prix is pleasing enough. A P8 qualification, a P7 start, a P3 finish. That'll do. That'll do. We obviously, had it remained dry, we feel like we might well have been in with a shout of a victory today. But Lando Norris has been able to get himself back top of the podium and, well, quite frankly, just dominated. Once the wet weather hit us, Fernando Alonso was pretty damn quick as well. Charles Leclerc annoyingly gets the fastest lap of the race as well, so we extend by 6 over Charles. But Lando closes in by 10, and we'll show you what the driver standings look like in a moment. When we get back to the menus, we've won the rivalry with Charles Leclerc, and all of that XP means we absolutely will be 91 rated now. We've won the rivalry with Lewis Hamilton as well, which means we absolutely will be 91 rated by now. We might even be potentially on our way to being 92, although at this stage you're probably going to need quite a bit of XP to get away that well. 91 and a half, I tell you what. We might well be 92 rated sooner rather than later. Still 50-50 in the recognition stakes with our teammate George Russell, but we are absolutely the #1 driver of this team right now, considering the state of the championship. And ultimately the run of results as well. So very, very happy indeed with the way that things are going so far this season. The next Grand Prix will be the halfway stage of the season. Hungary is halfway. Sure, it's Hungary next. And then we will be ploughing on to, it is indeed, we'll be ploughing on to the second half of the championship, hoping to keep ourselves in with a fight of a World Championship victory. So the standings look as follows. Lando does move himself into second in the championship now. We are 23 points clear of Lando Norris. We are 27 points clear of Charles Leclerc and 42 points clear of Lewis Hamilton. Our teammate is considerably behind, but the constructors' standings are very close, in fact, between ourselves and Ferrari. So long as I can keep performing as I am, and George might well have been even better today if it weren't for the issue with the pit stops, then George may well have been right up there as well. Sadly for him, P8 today, but absolutely a P4 or 5 was on the cards for him, which would have kept up his decent streak. Only finished outside the top 5 twice, outside of DNFs, obviously. But our podium streak continues. Lando's now won 3 in a row. And what happens in Hungary remains to be seen. It can, obviously, smash it down with rain there. It can also be stonking hot and no rain whatsoever. I would be more inclined to go with a slightly harder tyre allocation because of the nature of the circuit. And it's quite a high-wearing circuit, so I think I will go harder with the tyre allocation and hope that there's no rain. Keep thy fingers crossed, laddies and gentlemen. Good. Stonking hot all weekend, apart from a smattering of rain in first practice. That'll do very nicely indeed. So we will be dry for the full weekend in all the sessions that matter in this Hungarian Grand Prix weekend, which will come to you as the next episode. It is a high tyre wear circuit. It's a high fuel circuit as well. But so was Silverstone, and we were very competitive there in dry conditions. And thankfully no rain in Hungary means it'll be dry conditions again. So we will go for a podium again and maybe a victory. Hungary is a circuit I'm less competitive at than we were at Silverstone and have been at a couple of the others. Austria we're very competitive at. Hungary is probably the polar opposite of that, but with the car we've got underneath us, we'll absolutely do what we can, and we're still very much in the hunt for this championship because we're still leading the way, and definitely will still be leading the way at the official halfway stage after the Hungarian Grand Prix. But that is the next one. That was this one. Thank you very much for watching the British Grand Prix weekend. I hope you enjoyed. Drop the video a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more. And fingers crossed, the title will get closer still as we move through the season. I'll see you next time.